Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos, simply take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I just wanted to talk to you about spirit activity. There will be some upcoming videos on a few little road trips that we have been on, and there are a few more road trips planned in the upcoming months. So I thought I would chit-chat here about spirit activity on locations, just to give you my perspective and their perspective. Spirit activity on locations is an incredible experience. And I'm sure many of you will nod your head yes when I say, have you ever been somewhere and just felt something happened? You just felt it. You just knew something happened. It doesn't feel great. Good feels good. Bad feels bad. Intuition 101. And spirit does relay those messages to us as well. Energy remains in the physical world for the most part. So when we visit old places, some of them are hundreds of years old, the energy of the story of what happened there, quite often, not always, I have been to places where I've walked in and I haven't felt anything. Many places I walk into and I can feel it. At that point, I will ask Spirit, tell me your story. What happened here? I only work in the light. I have said that a few times here on my channel. I keep myself very protected. I work with angelics. I work with only higher ascended masters. I'm very well protected. When it comes to parts of our history and even parts of our present world time, think about that for a moment. We've got some pretty heavy stuff going on in the world. We have always had some pretty heavy stuff going on in the world. That energy and those spirits that connect to that energy are very eager to talk to me about what happened to them. Most of the spirits that I encounter visit the physical world. Are there some spirits that have either chosen to stay here or have not crossed over? Yes, there are spirits that have chosen to stay here in the physical world. But the majority of spirit activity is spirit coming in to tell you their story. Now, what happens with us physical people? We bring in the vibration of fear. Oh, it must be dark. Oh, it must be evil. I can't believe this is happening, the spirit activity. And we go off into many different places within our mind, mainly because for some of us, there has been some programming, either through movies or through belief systems. There are things that are passed down, or we just naturally lean into fear. I have shared before in previous videos my experience with my own time over in the spirit dimensions when I died a couple times. And it was that experience and that information and the knowledge that they sent me back here into the physical world that really propelled my understanding on how the spirit dimensions work. So when I visit locations to relay the story of what really happened here, because sometimes, for many different reasons over the course of history, the documentation isn't right, or the documentation isn't specific to that person. So if I visit a place and there were several hundred living people at that time that crossed over, for whatever reasons, whether they were sick or whether they were unaccounted for, and I go in to ask them what happened, they share that. And because they don't have physical bodies, they're able to cross into the physical world and back into the spirit dimensions. And when I am done working with spirit, I always ask them to step back, send them back to the spirit dimensions. And I've never had any problems. I've never had anything bad or dark or any attachments or anything like that. Because I stay in the light and I'm willing to be the voice. I'm also very much okay, and so is spirit, by the way. Spirit is very much okay with what our choice and our free will is. They're very much okay with that. They understand that because they have been here for a few visits quite often, and they have that knowledge when we go back to the spirit dimensions. They know we're here making choices and navigating through that. They know we're trying to sort out where we stand in all this. They completely have that knowledge. Why do they hop in with me? Why does spirit follow me around? Why do they come when I'm not even necessarily working? The reason for that is I, for the most part, have my light on. I have my channel on. I'm tuned in. I tune in. Are there times where I tune out? Yes, there are, because I do have to be physically 100% present sometimes in the physical world, because I am here learning as well. But for the most part, I am tuned into the spirit dimensions, so they will show up. They will come ahead of time. Even for my one-on-one sessions, I meditate beforehand. I call spirit in for the person that's coming to sit with me, and they come forward and we have our conversations. Spirit activity and how spirit communicates is a fascinating topic, and I strongly feel deep in my heart that why wouldn't they want to share their story? If I was to meet you for the first time for a cup of tea, and I introduce myself, hi, my name is Lana, and you introduce yourself, hi, what's the topic of conversation? Tell me about yourself. What do you do for a living? Do you have any kids? What's your story? And the more that we get to know each other, the more time that we may spend together, we start to build this trust. And I may share with you, or you may share with me, difficult parts of your journey, the hard times on your journey, the traumatic times on your journey. Once we trust each other, I'm going to share with you that. And for the most part, if I was to share with you, I went through this hard time when, at this point in my life, and it was really dark, and I had a hard time overcoming it. We usually lean in, and we're supposed to lean in a loving manner with some, non-judgmental, holding the space and sharing that. If I'm sharing a hard part of my journey, we usually don't go into the space of, oh, you must be a dark person now. Lana, bless your heart. You must be very, you had a hard time at some point in your life. I don't know, maybe you're dark. Most of us don't do that. It's the same thing when I communicate with spirit. They may be gone hundreds of years. Hundreds of years ago, there was a lot going on in the world as there is today. There was darkness then, there was darkness now. And spirit will come forward to share their journey with me. They will share it. We have formulated a lot of fear around that. We have formulated a lot of our own opinions and a lot of our own belief systems, and that's okay. I will never argue with someone if somebody says, oh, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, or you shouldn't be doing this or shouldn't be doing that. I respect other people's opinion. Other people's truth is their truth. My truth is there is a lot of love and a lot of light and a lot to learn from spirit. They have been my greatest teachers in having a deeper understanding. And I have, sat with spirit, and I have sat with them many times with this hot topic. And spirit has said to me many of times, when you crossed over into the spirit dimensions and we handed you that box of light to work with, you wouldn't have received that if you weren't supposed to do it. And I have choice and free will on whether or not I want to do it. I don't have to work with spirit. I can step out at any time. And I have on and off over the years, I have said to spirit, not right now. I wasn't ready to cope with what being a medium comes with. Comes with a whole package of physical world stuff. And there were times over my life where I had to say to Spirit, not now, not now. Thank you very much, but not now. I have turned down this job a few times. And then I got to a crossroad in my life, if you will, where I just felt that this was such a big part of my journey, and now is a glorious time to embrace that. And I was ready, and Spirit spent many years helping me prepare to be ready to take on the mediumship piece of what I do. And do I ever struggle with it? I don't struggle with the spirit dimensions. And if I'm brutally honest, it's the physical world that I often kind of have to sit with and ask for a deeper understanding on the whys of the physical world. And it's interesting to have that perspective, and to be able to tap into Spirit's thoughts. And one of the biggest things that come up with Spirit is they will say to me, Lana, humans are exercising their choice and free will. Just as we did. When I ask a spirit, back and, something may have happened to them, or they may have done something, I will say to them, why? And they will say, I exercise my choice and free will. Working in the spirit dimensions and the piece that I work in brings forward healing, love, light, understanding, and it is absolutely glorious. I do hope that I was able to communicate the spirit dimensions perspectives. I do hope that I've given you a deeper understanding. I want to thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm very grateful to have you here. I do appreciate all the thumbs ups on my videos. It's absolutely glorious to read your questions. I try to answer them as quickly as I possibly can. And I am just so filled with love and gratitude to have you all here. As always, I am wishing you love, light, blessings, and a spirit-guided day.